After 21 days of intense action in the T20 World Cup 2022 Super 12s, we finally had our four semi-finalists. New Zealand, Pakistan, India and England. And this is the order that they'll play in. On November 9th, New Zealand will take on Pakistan at the Sydney Cricket Ground. But many people's attentions will be on England versus India at the Adelaide Oval. After a very long time, the two title contenders are meeting. Although we would have hoped it's in a final, they are playing in a semi-final. England have a baggage of hurt against India when it comes to ICC events. 2013 Champions Trophy, anyone? Yes. India won that ODI. Oops, no. T20. Because the match was reduced to 20 overs, but they had to play in an ODI setup. Then if you have to look at it, England got one back in 2019. But if you look at the T20 World Cup, it's been an up and down journey when it comes to India versus England contests. Can you believe it? After 10 years, India are facing England in the T20 World Cup. 2007, 2009, 2012, and after that, not a single time India has faced England. It will be a brilliant contest, a resurgent India versus New England, a team that is pushing the boundaries of white ball cricket every single time they step out onto the field. So after 10 years, not since 2012, India are facing England in a T20 World Cup. In World Cup encounters, India has a 2-1 head-to-head record. And if you look at it, 2007, 2009, 2012, India won in 2007 and 2012, but England held their own in 2009. However, in the last 10 T20Is, India hold a 6-4 advantage against England. In the last two series that they have played in 2021 and 2022, India have won 3-2 and 2-1 respectively. So it's always been even Stevens when it comes to India versus England and reflects in their head-to-head record, not just in the last 10, but overall as well. What has India's road to the semi-finals been? Well, it's been kind of topsy-turvy if you look at it. They won by 4 wickets against Pakistan in Melbourne. What a match that was. 82 by Virat Kohli. One of the greatest knocks that he's ever played, period. Against the Netherlands, they registered a clinical 56-run win. But against South Africa, they lost by 5 wickets. Would you believe it? South Africa, 1 point against Zimbabwe, but 2 wins against Bangladesh and India. They were on top, but with 2 losses, they were out of the tournament. Talk about choking in an epic way. Against Bangladesh, India were threatened by Liton Das's 50, but rain ensured that India had to contend with slight Bangladesh inconsistency and an asking net run rate. So, Bangladesh lost by 5 runs, DLS method. And against Zimbabwe, India were clinical, thrashing them by 71 runs. What about England? Well, their campaign started off on a very scratchy note. Won by 5 wickets against Afghanistan, but that was in a chase of under 120. Versus Ireland, they lost by 5 runs via Duckworth-Lewis method, and one felt that this campaign was going downhill for England. Their game against Australia had a no result. But Australia's neighbours, New Zealand, did England a big favour as they lost by 20 runs. Against Sri Lanka, somehow they held their own on a slow wearing pitch at Sydney and they won by 4 wickets to dump Australia out and enter the semi-final. But if you have to look at India versus England T20 World Cup encounters, nothing can be as memorable as the first encounter in 2007. The location was Durban, the Super 6 stage, and because of this certain match winner that India had. Yuvraj Singh is indeed one of India's greatest ever match winners, and it all began from this particular moment. He had a heated argument with Andrew Flintoff, and then what followed was history and absolute carnage. Yuvraj Singh hit 6 sixes in 1 over bowled by Stuart Broad, and he became the 3rd player, in fact the 4th player overall in cricket after Sir Gary Sobers, Ravi Shastri, Herschel Gibbs, and he joined that list itself. 6 sixes in 1 over. Every 6 was middled It went far. Stuart Broad had no answers. Yuvraj Singh hit a 12-ball 50, and it remains, even today, one of the fastest T20 I-50s ever. India won that first encounter in Durban by a pretty close margin. Had it not been for Yuvraj Singh's excellence, 7 sixes, 3 fours, 57 of 15, India won that classic, and the rest is history. Yuvraj hit 70 of 30 against Australia in Durban, and India in the final against Pakistan went on to win by 5 runs. And we all know what happened to cricket after that. In 2009, it was a grudge encounter between India and England at Lord's. The defending champions against England, who were ensuring that they did not want to have an early elimination. England won by 3 runs. And Ryan Sidebottom and Graham Swan were the stars, 2 wickets apiece. Yuvraj Singh, MS Dhoni and Yusuf Pathan, they were brilliant with the bat for India. But unfortunately, they fell short by 3 runs and their campaign ended because they had suffered a loss to the West Indies in the earlier game. The 2009 T20 World Cup did not go well for India, and unfortunately, in the last game against South Africa and Trent Bridge, they lost. But in 2012, it was total domination by India, and it was at that time that England were floundering against spin in the subcontinent. Rohit Sharma had smashed 55 and India reached 170 for 4 at the Premadasa Stadium in Colombo. Harbhajan Singh bowled like a man possessed. 4 for 12, 4 overs, 2 maidens, 12 runs, 4 wickets. And that was the reason Baji simply was sublime on that day. England were all out for 80. India won by 90 runs, chasing 171. It was a total rout. England were never in the contest. But India and England in Adelaide is kind of an equalizer in a lot of ways. Why is that? India and England have never lost a T20I in Adelaide. England, though, last played in Adelaide in 2011 and they won that T20I contest against Australia by 1 wicket. But the pitch has changed, the ground has changed, the dynamics has changed, and India have played 2 T20Is, but one has already been in the 2022 World Cup, and that was against Bangladesh. So, England last played in 2011 versus Australia, won by 1 wicket. India have already played in Adelaide in 2022. So, India have 2 wins in Adelaide, England has 1 win, but none of them are defeated. Now, it will be very interesting to see what happens, because forget South Africa, forget Pakistan, India now face the sternest test in their T20 World Cup mission when they take on England. A side that is packed with bowling firepower, the side that bats deep all the way till number 11. It is not going to be an easy contest. But now, Rohit Sharma's team are just 2 wins away from ending 15 years of pain. And because of that, England, if they can get England in the semi-final and knock them out, it will be really, really sweet. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this video. We will be back with more updates from Sports Today. Press the like, comment and share button. We are also there on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. Thank you. Bye-bye.